Hey everyone, today I will present a thesis that I designed with the theme of identification and analysis of local wisdom as a sources of learning at the junior high school level. The uh, background of the problem education in Indonesia must be implemented in accordance with the established curriculum so that education goals are achieved. Law of the Republic of Indonesia number 20 of 23 concerning the national education system chapter article 1 paragraph 19 states that the curriculum is a set of plans and arguments regarding the objectives, context, and learning materials, as well as the method used as guidelines for the implementation of learning activities of achieve certain education goals. The Indonesian national education system is rooted in the culture of the Indonesian nation, namely the culture that arises as an effort to cultivate an Indonesian people in the form of all an original culture, a new culture that is developed towards an attainment of civilization, culture, and unity by not rejecting foreign culture that can develop and enrich their own culture and enhance the national humanity in the nation. The primary and secondary education curriculum according to the law of the Republic of Indonesia number 20 and of 23 concerning national education system chapter X article 37 paragraph 1 must contain 10 subjects, one of which is social sciences. Susanto 2013 states that social studies is a science that examines various disciplines of social sciences and humanities, as well as basic human activities that are packaged scientifically in order to provide insight and deep understanding to students, especially at the elementary and secondary levels, by referring to the curriculum in relation will use appropriate and relevant learning resources and implementation of the 2013 curriculum has brought change in the learning process. Permendikbud number 25 of 2013 concerning standards for primary and secondary education has indicated the need for a learning process that is guided by the principle of a scientific approach. Efforts to apply a scientific approach in the learning process is a hallmark of the 2013 curriculum. The, the scientific approach in the 2013 curriculum is applied to all subjects at all levels. The application of a scientific approach can certainly cause its own difficulties, especially in non-formal subjects exactly like social studies subject. So far, identical scientific approaches have been used in natural sciences subject, which requires steps such as observing and formulating problems, propose or formulate hypotheses, collect data using various techniques, analyze data, draw conclusions through practical work in the laboratory or practical in the field. Meanwhile, social studies subjects are more often taught traditionally, namely by transfer of knowledge and rote methods. The application of a scientific approach is a challenge for social studies subject, especially for social studies teacher as implement on one the ways approaches to the learning is by utilizing local wisdom as a source of social studies learning This research. One of the ways to helpfully incentivize a part to social study learning is by utilizing local wisdom as a source of social studies learning. This research will focus on the identification of local wisdom and its use in the democratic agency as a source of social studies learning at the junior high school level. The 2014 curriculum focused on science education, which is an approach that emphasizes the five steps and acquiring knowledge first observation. Students must have the ability to observe every phenomenon, whether natural, social, or cultural phenomena. There are two kinds of contexts that are expressed for observation of real phenomena, namely, through the observation, the student occasion this knowledge attains not just information, but they actually do it as themselves, so that knowledge is not easily lost from themselves. Then, through observation, isn't hard that they have a critical spirit towards every existing phenomenon. Second, ask questions from the natural, social, and cultural phenomena that they observe. Then, in the student, the soul is urged to know by asking why it happened, why is that, and so on. This is a starting point of human thinking as a mean is creation or humans or creatures that think. Third, explore. By expressing or asking for just a question the student are expected to find out by developing reason power, board, synthetic and analytical from simple to complex. Fourth, reasoning or deduction. In this phase, students are expected to be able to relate the rest over the synthesis analysis to a conscience. Fifth, communication or presentation word they see or feel. This is the last step of the senses education approach model, where students must be able to communicate from the what they see and get. This communication also requires verbal skills and polite encouraged before. Students are expected to have much better attitudes, skills, and knowledge. Completeness through this apart. They will be more active, innovative, and productive. Refers the learning resource as defined as information that is the present or stored in various forms in media, which can help students in learning. As the improvement of the curriculum, the form is not limited, whatever in the form they print, video forward, or the combination of this form, the student and teacher can use. Learning research can also interpret results, place, and instruments, people, and objects that contain information that becomes available for students to carry out the project before change. The learning principle used when referring to get a graded process standard and gone to standard. The learning method used are students taught to let students find out from the teacher as lonely source of learning to learn based on the first learning source. From the textile, best apart the themes, storytelling to use or for instance apart from concert, learning to competition, from brother learning, from partial learning to integrated learning. 6. From learning the individual singles answer challenge with mutual inspire. From learning for balance to applied skills. 8. Improvement and balance between physical skills, hard skills, and mental skills, soft skills. Learning the priorities, giving and operating students as evolving learners. 10. Learning the uplift values by setting an example. Building the will in medium is courage and developing creative of students in learning process. Learning that takes place at home, at school, and in the community. Learning that uplifts principle that everyone is teacher, anyone is a student, and anywhere is a class. Using information and communication technology to improve the efficacy and efficiency in learning. And knowledge origins in the individual's cultural background. Integration of various bands of sciences such as history, economy, sociology, geography, culture, love, and political social science are formulated on the basis of socialities and phenomena that the MD body interdisciplinary apart studies or social studies a part of the school's curriculum with their drive. Every community in the nation certainly has their own local wisdom, but the local wisdom of each region is different from other region sources. The village local wisdom is ancestral, heritage turns to life values. The values of this life are unity is not only in the form of religion, but also in culture and system. When a society adapts to instrument, they develop a wisdom in the form of knowledge or ideas, tools, combined with customer mom's cultural values, activities to manage the environment to meet their needs, a wisdom related to adaptation to the environment, what's natural, calls local wisdom. Francis Wallen say that local wisdom is the intelligence and strategies of managing the universe in the maintaining ecological balance that have been tested for countries by various disasters and objects as well as human negligence. The definition of local wisdom according to Andy is a form of values, attitude, prepositions, behaviors, and response of a local community. This requires the importance of appointing the values of local wisdom so that local wisdom is maintained and the younger generation has the averse to prefer local wisdom that future generations will continue to know. Local wisdom in their area. Local wisdom to the surface can be done through education. Education can not only be done formally by teachers in schools, but can also be studied independently with teaching materials developed by teachers and contain local wisdom values. Education is rooted in the national culture. The education process in the process of developing the potential of students so that they are able to become heirs and developers of the national culture. Through education, various culture, values, and influences in the part in the instruct, study, and develop into culture for themselves, society, and the nation with the times in which students live and develop. So, chapter 3 closing. Consulum based on the result of the research condition by research regarding the identification and analysis of local wisdom as a source of social studies learning at the junior high school level. I can be included as follows. One, there are two forms of local wisdom that can be used as a course of social study learning at the junior high school level. The local wisdom is tangible, local wisdom intangible. Local wisdom interfaces through field observation and interferes with the junior high school education in the Superman at the education and culture areas of democracy and social study teacher as local wisdom in the democracy is tangible. For example, maging grebek besar rebana zipin greatness of democracy tolerance, mutual cooperation, courtesy, and meet democracy of local widow in democracy as a course of the learning at the junior high school level, which can be done by using arrived learning model according to the curriculum, namely 2023 curriculum, which focuses on scientific learning approach. The selection of the learning model must be right so that learning is apparently. This is my presentation, and my name is Marcus Nantaside. I'm class C. So thank you very much. If very many apologize for my presentation if have many fault. Thank you very much.